lifestyle. I do private sessions and group events. I integrate tools and techniques of different modalities like mindfulness, Reiki, access bars, chakra healing, chakra balancing, crystal healing, emotional freedom technique, and yoga. Today, I'll take this opportunity to talk about the workshops that's facilitated by me at Just Be this month. There are two workshops coming up this month. There's a workshop on the 15th, which is about emotional balance workshop. And another one is on 28th, in which there'll be a talk on crystal healing. So coming back to the workshop that I'll be facilitating on 15th at Just Be. It's a 2 hours workshop and we will be talking about emotional balance through balancing our chakras. This workshop can be attended in person or online. In this workshop, we'll be talking about the energy system, our connection, the connection between chakras and emotions, and understanding of emotions. What are the different tools and techniques that we can use to release the negative and suppressed emotions? Um, so we have an energetic field known as aura, which reflects our state of mind, our emotional state, and the physical health. There are 7 energy centers. These energy centers are all located on our spinal column, starting from our tailbone to the crown. There is a constant flow of energy through these energy centers. And a smooth flow is very important for well being at all levels. So, what happens when there's an imbalance in these energy centers? What is the impact of these imbalances on our health and well being? Coming back to the energy centers, there are 7 energy centers. So each energy center has a role and function in different aspects of our life. There are these energy centers, our root center, which is our Muladhara center, which is all about our survival needs. Then there is sacral, which is our emotional center, it's our creativity center. After that, there is solar plexus, which is our mental center. It's all about our personal power. Heart center is all about our connection, joy, relationship with others. And throat center, our throat chakra is all about self-expression, communication. Third eye center is all about our intuition, inner guidance. And then crown center is about our connection with the universe, our connection to the source, our connection with others. So we're going to dive deep into understanding each and every energy center, the role it plays, the function it has in different aspects of our life. What happens when there's a blockage in energy centers? It can, if there's a blockage even in one energy center, it impacts the flow of all the energy centers. So there's a constant flow of chi, known as prana and life force energy, that's flowing through these energy centers. And imbalance in even one center affects the flow of the imbalance, affects the flow of the energy in all the energy centers. What are the symptoms of these imbalances? And how does it manifest physically, emotionally, and mentally? What happens when there's an imbalance and it is not attended? It creates a state of dis-ease. And when this ease is not attended, it can turn into an illness. It can affect the organs, it can affect our health, our mental health, our emotional state, our physical health. So we're going to be talking deeply all about it in the workshop. Then we will be talking about different tools and techniques that we can use to balance these chakras. There are various ways to balance these energy centers. We can balance these energy centers by meditation, by mantras, by movement, by using essential oils, which is known as aromatherapy. There are different exercises we can do to balance these chakras. There is also crystals that we can use to balance these chakras. So we'll be talking and learning all about these different tools and techniques. Then we will be covering the relationship between our chakras and emotions. Our thoughts and feelings affect the status of our chakras. Every thought is a form of energy. Every thought creates an emotional response and a physical reaction. So, what happens when these emotions that are generated by our thoughts are not acknowledged by us? When they're not recognized, they're not acknowledged, they do not disappear. They stay with us, they get stored in our chakras, and then they eventually affect our organs. See, each chakra is connected to endocrine gland and it governs its functioning. Endocrine glands are responsible for production, regulation, and distribution of hormones. So, when there's an imbalance created in the chakras by the suppressed emotions, it also creates a hormonal imbalance. And then there are so many symptoms that show up. But we're going to stay focused on the emotions here, so we're not going to go deep into it. Each chakra is connected to certain organs. And when there are blockages in these energy centers, the functioning of organs, the well-being and well-being of these organs gets affected. Some of the organs that are connected to different chakras, I will just read out, is root is connected to kidneys and spine, sacral is connected to bladder, prostate, ovaries, spleen, solar is connected to intestines, liver, stomach, and our upper spine. Heart is connected to lungs and heart. Throat is connected to our bronchial tubes, our vocal cords, respiratory system. Third eye is connected to our eyes, pituitary and pineal gland, and brain. And crown is connected to our spinal cord and brain stem. So it's very important that we recognize, acknowledge, accept, and release these emotions. Not it also, if we do not do this, then it's not just that the functioning of our organs get affected. We are also not able to manage our emotions. We're not able to manage our mood. We're not able to manage our behavior, and it can result in a lot of outbursts, or maybe resulting in unconscious decisions that we are going to probably not be very happy about. So, positive thought creates a positive emotion and results in good feelings. A negative thought creates a negative emotion and it results in negative feelings. And we feel it all across our body. We feel it. So, when a negative thought happens in our mind, there are chemicals released and stress hormones are released, and then stress hormones are distributed all across our body, which we feel in our sensations and bodily sensations. So our emotion is an energy in motion. It can result from a thought or it can result from a situation and experience that we've had. In order to recognize these emotions, we need to first acknowledge what is the source of this emotion, that we can learn through self-awareness. And in order to develop self-awareness skills, we need to learn mindfulness practices, because through mindfulness, we can recognize the emotion and then we can recognize the source of the emotion. So to do that, we connect with our breathing, we focus on our breathing, and through breathing, we connect with our feelings. From feelings, we move to our emotions, and from emotions, we move to our thoughts. We observe our thoughts. So we observe the quality of the thoughts. Is it a positive thought or a negative thought? And then we develop the ability to also be able to replace a negative thought with a positive thought, because when all of this happens, then it impacts our emotion, it impacts our emotional response and our physical reaction, and overall it impacts our health and well-being. So what are the different tools and techniques that we can use to release these emotions, the emotions which are negative and suppressed and already present? We can do that also by balancing our chakras. and also by releasing these emotions on regular basis. There are very various ways to do it. We'll not talk about all the different ways to release in this talk. We will be discussing about it in detail in the workshop. But we will be also, I'll just talk about one powerful tool that you'll be learning in this workshop, which is the emotional freedom technique. So this is a combination of ancient energy medicine and positive psychology. This is also known as tapping and needleless acupuncture. So we tap on certain acupressure points, and when you tap on these points, it helps to release the energetic blocks from the meridians and allows a free flow of energy. We can use tapping to release stress and overcome overwhelm and any negative emotion, any self-limiting belief can also be released by emotional freedom technique. So all of this is going to be learned and talked about. We'll be covering all these different aspects, different topics in detail in the workshop. Then there's another workshop on 28th, which is the crystal healing workshop. So in that workshop also we'll be covering the entire energy system. We'll be talking in detail about each and every energy center and different tools and techniques to balance, like we've discussed already. We will be talking in detail about the crystals. So we're going to talk about the formation of crystals and different uses and purposes of crystals. We're going to be learning how to program crystals, how to cleanse crystals, and how to charge crystals. We will be learning also how to use a pendulum. So this is a crystal pendulum and this is a metal pendulum. We will learn to scan the chakras with the help of the pendulum. That is, we'll be able to read the status of the chakras. The chakras can be underactive or overactive depending on our emotional state, depending on the experiences we're going through. So sometimes, we don't know what we're feeling. We are not able to recognize our emotions, but we do know that we're feeling low or low on energy, or we're just not feeling very vibrant, energetic. So we can read our chakras with the help of pendulum and understand the issue in a certain chakra. When we understand there are issues correlated to chakras, we'll be able to identify. For example, there is the suppressed anger. You're feeling discomfort because it gets stored in your solar plexus. So you're feeling discomfort in your solar plexus. By reading this chakra, you'll be able to know whether, by doing the reading with pendulum, you'll be able to know whether it's overactive or it's underactive. If it's underactive, it could be to do with the low self-esteem. It could be to do with low confidence. And when it's overactive, it could be an anger issue. It could be a control issue. So this becomes a guide in order to for us to use the right tool to balance. So all of this will be covered in the workshop. Thank you so much for listening to me. It's been a pleasure talking about the workshop and talking about myself. If there are any questions about the workshop or related to the topics we just discussed, you can get in touch with Just Be Holistic and they can pass on the questions to me. I'll be happy to address and answer all these questions. Thank you so much. Looking forward to seeing you in the workshops. Have a lovely evening. Thank you.